Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're navigating the process of applying for international protection in Spain, you already know how incredibly overwhelming it can feel, right? There is just so much information out there, and finding a clear, actual path forward can be really tough. So today, we're going to take a calm, reassuring, and completely objective look at Law 12-2009. We're going to strip away all the confusion and focus strictly on the practical procedure itself, and most importantly, your guaranteed legal rights. Okay, let's dive right into this. Here is our agenda for today. Number 1, what is international protection? 2, where to apply in person. 3, the 3-step application procedure. 4, your temporary identity documents. 5, your rights while waiting. And finally, 6, important final legal guidance.
Section 1. What is international protection? Understanding your options under Spanish law. So first things first. All final decisions regarding your application are entirely in the hands of the Spanish Ministry of the Interior, and they're specifically managed by the Asylum and Refuge Office. Under Spanish law, there are 2 distinct types of protection available to you. First, we have asilo, which is the exact legal Spanish term for refugee status. And second, we have protección subsidiaria, which translates to subsidiary protection. You are absolutely going to hear these exact Spanish terms quite a bit, so it's a really good idea to familiarize yourself with them right now. Now, please note, our focus in this explainer is strictly on the mechanics, how you apply, and the rights you hold during that process. We are not here to estimate your chances of approval, and we aren't going to advise you on what to say in your interview. This is purely about empowering you with the knowledge of exactly how the legal system works.
Section 2. Where to apply in person, location, and mandatory appearance rules.
Let's transition to the physical, real-world requirements of actually getting your application started. The first major hurdle is a rule called Comparecencia Personal Obligatoria. What does that mean for you? It means your personal appearance is absolutely mandatory. You can't just log on to a government website and fill out an online form to apply for asylum in Spain. No way. Furthermore, you cannot hire a lawyer, a family member, or any kind of representative to go do it on your behalf. You, the applicant, must physically present yourself to the authorities to begin this process. There are literally no workarounds for this rule.
So, to fulfill this in-person requirement, where do you actually go? You have to use specific official channels. First, you can apply at puestos fronterizos. These are the official border posts, including international ports and airports. If you are already physically inside Spain, you can go to designated oficinas de extranjería, which are the immigration offices. Alternatively, you can go to specifically authorized comisarías de policía, the police stations. The exact office you use will usually depend on the specific province you're residing in, but these are the official, authorized locations where your journey begins.
Section 3. The 3-step application procedure. A practical chronological guide.
Now that we know you must apply in person, let's walk through the exact sequence of events you'll experience once you step inside one of those official locations. The application procedure follows a very clear 3-step rhythm. Step 1 is the manifestación de voluntad. This is your initial expression of the will to apply. Basically, you are formally telling the authorities, I need international protection. Step 2 is the formalization of your application. This is a much deeper step. It involves a formal interview where your application and your story are officially recorded into the system. Finally, Step 3 involves a very strict time limit, specifically if you are applying at a border post. At the border, the authorities have exactly 96 hours to make an admissibility decision. If they admit your claim for processing within those 96 hours, you are then officially authorized to enter the country.
Section 4. Your temporary identity documents. Tracking your status over time.
Let's move on and see how this builds over time. Once your application is formalized at month 0, your official status as an applicant begins, and you're handed a document commonly referred to as a volante blanco, a white paper proving you are legally in the system. The reality is you'll be waiting a while for a final decision, but this document ensures you aren't left invisible in the meantime. As time passes, you're going to need to schedule appointments to renew your documentation. Around the 9-month mark, you'll generally be renewing that initial volante blanco. Then, roughly around the 1-year mark, if your case is still being processed, you'll transition to the much-discussed tarjeta roja, the red card. This red card is a vital piece of identification that you will hold and periodically renew while the Ministry of the Interior works toward their final decision.
Section 5. Your rights while waiting, protection and peace of mind.
Waiting for a government decision can be highly stressful, for sure. But let's shift focus to the strict legal protections you enjoy the absolute second you become an applicant under Law 1229.
The most foundational right you possess is rooted in a concept called non-refoulement. This is the binding legal principle preventing the return or expulsion of an asylum seeker while their claim is actively being processed. And this brilliantly illustrates why a summary rejection at the border, meaning, simply turning you away without allowing you to undergo the proper procedure to identify your need for protection, is a direct violation of this core international right. Basically, while your application is active, you are legally shielded from being sent back. Building on that shield are your everyday core rights. First and foremost, as we just covered, is the absolute suspension of any expulsion or return order. Second, you have guaranteed access to asistencia sanitaria, meaning you have the legal right to public health care while you wait. Third, you have the right to access and actually know the contents of your case file. And here is a really, really important point from recent legal rulings. The Spanish Supreme Court has established that even if your initial application is denied and you decide to file an appeal, these provisional benefits like your healthcare and your protection from expulsion are fully extended while that appeal is actively being resolved.
Section 6. Important final legal guidance. Next steps and official resources. Informational guidance, not legal advice. Consult the asylum office and a professional for your case. The procedures, the authorized locations, and the rights we walk through together today are strictly based on Law 12/2009 to help you clearly understand how the system operates. But remember, every single asylum case is deeply personal and incredibly complex. Always verify the most current official information directly with the Asylum and Refuge Office. We highly encourage you to seek personalized, professional legal counsel to help navigate your unique journey. Now that you understand the structure of the system, what step will you take today to ensure your rights are properly protected? Thank you so much for learning with us.
That was a quick overview. On our website you'll find step-by-step guides to many procedures, the Padrón, the health card, the NIE, the TIE, legalization, and more. The link is in the description. And if you get stuck, message our Telegram bot. We'll walk you through for free, step by step.